This is WFYI News Now. It's November 6th, and I'm Drew Daudelin, filling in for Abriana Herron. On today's show, we go over all the major results from Election Day in central Indiana, races for U.S. Senate, U.S. House, school boards at Indianapolis Public Schools and Carmel Clay, and Republican Mike Braun won the race for governor Tuesday night, according to a call by the Associated Press.
Imagine what you can do when you set the agenda, you get along with a legislature that believes in freedom and opportunity, faith, family, and community.
Those stories coming up, but first, Republican Todd Rokita says his victory in the race for Attorney General Tuesday sent a clear message about what Hoosiers want. Rokita won re-election, defeating Democrat Destiny Wells, according to a race call by the Associated Press. Speaking to a room full of cheering supporters, Rokita says his win was a rejection of what he views as far-left extremism.
I am grateful to have earned the vote and, more importantly, the trust of so many Hoosiers tonight.
Rokita says his, quote, overwhelming victory will help him build on the work he's already done as Attorney General. He emphasized his fights to protect Indiana's near-total abortion ban and continued attacks on transgender Hoosiers. Destiny Wells emphasized to her supporters that change is incremental.
And it takes all of us and our sacrifice to wake up our neighbors and to let them see what is on the line.
Democrats haven't won the race for Attorney General since 1996. Republican Jim Banks says he will be a conservative fighter for Indiana in the U.S. Senate. Banks won the race to become Indiana's newest U.S. Senator Tuesday, according to a call by the Associated Press. The four-term congressman says he felt confident heading into Election Day, and as he spoke to supporters in Fort Wayne Tuesday evening, he reflected on his background. Banks says he had gone for a walk through the trailer park where he had lived when he was born and saw a mother with two sons.
She wants her two boys to have a shot at the American dream, and that's what tonight is all about. This election is about fighting for this country. America is always worth fighting for.
Democrat Valerie McRae told supporters the fight for issues such as women's rights and Social Security was just the beginning.
And now we have an infrastructure of people we can fight with for a long time to come.
Banks defeated McRae and Libertarian Andrew Horning. Republicans claimed most of the victories for Indiana's congressional seats last night. Ben Thorpe brings us this roundup of the U.S. House races we've been covering in central Indiana.
Republican incumbents held on to both congressional seats north of Indianapolis. Victoria Spartz retained District 5 and Jim Baird retained District 4. Former candidate for Indianapolis Mayor Jefferson Shreve took the seat south of the city in District 6 after Republican Greg Pence announced he would not run. Incumbent for District 7 in Indianapolis, Andre Carson, was one of the few top Democrats to claim a victory. In his speech, he urged his party not to lose hope.
Despite what we're seeing on TV, despite the talk, the fear-mongering, the hatred and division, we have to be united as Hoosiers.
Carson has served in the U.S. House of Representatives since 2008. I'm Ben Thorpe.
The four new members of the Indianapolis Public Schools Board will be responsible for overseeing massive changes in the district. From WFYI's Education Desk, Sydney Dauphiné has more on Tuesday's school board election results.
Dee Thompson won the at-large seat in the most contested race against Carrie Harris and incumbent Kenneth Allen. In District 1, Ashley Thomas won 66% of the votes against Alan Schoaf. Former board member Gail Cosby won over Hassan Rashid in District 2. Alyssa Impink was uncontested in District 4. The election comes amid a district overhaul known as Rebuilding Stronger. That plan, designed to save money on under-enrollment costs and make education more equitable, has included grade reconfigurations and school closures. The new board members will assume their positions on the 7-member board this December and serve 4-year terms. I'm Sydney Dauphiné.
John Shapiro and Kris Wheeler won 2 at-large seats on the Carmel Clay School Board. From WFYI's Education Desk, Lee Gaines reports their win means there won't be a conservative majority on the 5-member board.
John Shapiro and Kris Wheeler campaigned as a slate on a platform that emphasized that school board races and operations should be nonpartisan. They also believe that the district is fundamentally on the right track. Shapiro says he's incredibly happy and humbled by his win.
I think Carmel has sent a pretty clear message that They value high quality public education over making school board races heavily partisan or political.
Shapiro and Wheeler beat their opponents in the race, Dina Furchman and Robin Clark, by a healthy margin. Furchman and Clark campaigned as conservatives. I'm Lee Gaines.
And for our final story today, Republican Mike Braun says he'll be understated and overperform as governor. Indiana Public Broadcasting's Brandon Smith reports Braun won the race for governor Tuesday, according to a call by the Associated Press.
Though some polling had shown the governor's race tightening heading into Election Day, Braun's victory was called early in the evening. Speaking to a room full of cheering supporters, Braun reflected on his family, his one term in the U.S. Senate, and why he made the decision to run for governor.
Imagine what you can do when you set the agenda, you get along with a legislature that believes in freedom and opportunity, faith, family, and community.
Braun defeated Democrat Jennifer McCormick and Libertarian Donald Rainwater. His victory marks the first time Indiana has elected governors from one party to more than 20 consecutive years in the office. For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Brandon Smith at the State House.
That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by myself, Drew Daudelin, with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music. If you liked today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.